Hey, good morning. Stuck in traffic with Wolf Corlick. Couple minutes of IT security. So today I am presenting on the results of incident response assessment. So, a lot of different ways to do these. Here's my preferred way, and this comes from things we've done in MySec and things I used to do at the financial services firm. You basically take a real-world attack, right? Something that's happened before in the environment that you got good forensics information on. Something that's happened before in another environment, which is where things like a good security partner and a good like ISAC or information sharing organization comes into play. And you map that attack out using a threat model. So here's how the attack works. Here's how it flows through our environment. Here's what it'll look like. So you map that attack out, and then at a tabletop exercise, you get all the stakeholders in and you say, hey, here's what this attack looks like. Here's how it moves to the network. What would you have to see it, to stop it, right? What amount of time would it take you to respond if this happened? Would you even see it if it happened? And this allows us to move beyond the concept of defense in depth. Defense in depth, like security through obscurity, is one of those things that people rally against. No security through obscurity, lots of defense in depth, which is great, right? Hey, I'm going to sell you defenses. You need lots of them, lots of depth. Just keep stacking it in there. It's good. So if defense in depth was the solution, if defense in depth worked, with how much depth we have now compared to what we had 15, 20 years ago, you would think attacks would be going down. They're not. Spoiler alert. So why not? In part because our defense in depth is not measured against anything. So if you take a metric, whatever it is, right? I really don't care what it is. You take your metric, whatever works for you. You say potato, I say potato. No, if you take like a real world attack and use that as the metric, which is what I prefer, if you take a threat model and say, here's our defense in depth for this given scenario, then you can have a reasonable amount of assurance that you really could have defense in depth, right? Really could thwart that attack. And you take these controls that map to these tactics, and then you tie them across to your control framework, right? Whatever your IT GRC is standardized, NIST, ISO, critical security controls, whatever it may be. You take the controls in that framework and you map it across. So you say, we are doing these exercises to be compliant, and we're also doing these exercises because it protects us against these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different threat scenarios, 5 different ways attackers would get into our environment. That's just a good way to determine the controls in a tabletop. An incident response exercise is then to test those controls and make sure that people actually see them, make sure people know how to respond, and make sure the response is on a timely basis. And that's what we did a couple weeks ago. I've got some report writing to do. Anyone know a good writer? I got some report writing to do this morning to finish up, and I'm going to be presenting it this afternoon. And it's fun. It's a good way, I think, to communicate the story in terms of security. We always say security is not compliance. We here's how to be compliant on the one hand with standards and be secure on the other hand with an instant response against the threat model. Have a good one, guys.